Hey, what's up soldiers? Yanif here and welcome to Amazon FBA Bootcamp. So in today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about Amazon FBA and dropshipping. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about this question, which one is better? Which one should I start with which one should I do? And overall, what the differences between the two are. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the differences between them for the most part, the pros and the cons, and then maybe which one you should start and what I think. And obviously, again, I am going to be a little bit biased. I'm going to try not to be because most of my money is made on Amazon FBA, but I will break it down and why I decided to go with Amazon FBA and maybe why you should too, but really, keep it open-minded and let you guys decide for yourselves. So dropshipping, pretty much what dropshipping is you start off with creating a small online website. Maybe it's pretty much like a store. So you kind of are selling maybe sometimes niche products and stuff like that. You hold no inventory. So, you don't have that much of an upfront investment. And what you do is people buy from your website and then you kind of buy from China and ship it out to the customer. You obviously, buy from China for less than what you're buying or rather what you're charging on your website. That's pretty much what Shopify is. You also rely on paid traffic. So really, not much of your traffic is coming from organic searches, but you will need like Facebook ads or something along those lines. So you will need to know how to run Facebook ads and all that stuff. So that's pretty much that for dropshipping right now. Amazon FBA is you do your product research, you order your product in bulk from China. So you don't just ship out one at a time, you order your product in bulk. So there's a little bit more risk there. You're sending it out to the warehouses in Amazon, and they pretty much do everything for you from there. So it is a little bit more passive. Well, actually a lot more passive, which is why I decided to go that route, because I knew that if I set up a business or some sort of brand on Amazon, it will last me a long time into the future. And it will actually, kind of free my time from my money. So I don't really have to, you will have to work for your money, but you don't have to directly work for your money, right? So you put in all your work up front, and then after, everything is kind of set up for you later to just get paid. So like I said, I value passive income, which is why I decided to go with Amazon FBA, because that one is a little bit more passive than dropshipping. So let's just go over the pros and the cons. Let's start off with dropshipping. So the pros of dropshipping has a much lower startup cost. You don't really need to invest much money in starting dropshipping. The only real money that you're investing is into the Facebook ads and maybe the Shopify plugin, but that's really not so much money. So pretty much just the Facebook ads. And again, if you don't really know what you're doing with the Facebook ads, you can really get in a lot of hot water with that, because just pretty much if you don't know what you're doing, you can spend a lot of money on Facebook ads that aren't going to bring much return and actually going to cost you a lot of money if they're not making sales, right? So that's the biggest thing with Shopify is a lot of your traffic, or I'd say most of your traffic by far, is coming from paid sources. So again, you don't need to hold inventory, but you do need to invest money into Facebook ads or whatever ad source you're going to use. That's pretty much it. So it's much easier also to build a brand on Shopify. It's a lot harder to build a brand on Amazon because of the competition and stuff, but on Shopify it's a lot easier because you're kind of picking fad products for the most part, products that are going to blow up in popularity and then usually die down afterwards, like fidget spinners and stuff like that. So it is really easy to build maybe a brand around that because there's not so much competition in fad products, at least at the beginning if you get it early. Obviously towards the end there's a lot more competition, but at the beginning it's really really easy to kind of build a brand in a Shopify like product through Shopify dropshipping, because again you can use Facebook ads to target them. You can retarget them with Facebook ads. You can collect their emails and email market to them. So you kind of just become an omnipresent company with them. With Amazon it's a little harder because you don't actually get their emails. You don't actually you don't own the customer like you do in dropshipping. And by own the customer I mean you can't re-advertise to them. You can't email them. You can't kind of pump them with your presence, so your brand's presence, like you can do in dropshipping. That kind of might turn a customer into a returning customer, or into someone who you can upsell them more products. So you can kind of turn one customer who pays you a little bit of money into a customer who pays you a lot of money. So that's something really, really great about dropshipping that Amazon doesn't have. So overall, for the pros, dropshipping is really great because you have no inventory, you can retarget customers and upsell them and kind of own the customer, and it's a lot easier to build a brand. So those are the pros of using dropshipping. Now let's move on to the cons. The cons of using dropshipping are, this is what loses me. So pretty much you need to do advertising, because if you don't advertise, you won't have customers unless you're really good at that SEO stuff that you can get your page really high up on organic searches. For the most part, again, all your traffic is gonna be paid traffic. None of it is really organic like Amazon. With dropshipping, another big con is that you're gonna spend a lot of money in product testing and advertising testing, like I said. Not necessarily losing the money, but you're gonna be testing ads and seeing what works and what doesn't. So if you don't know what you're doing, again, it can be very, very hard. Dropshipping also has a much shorter product life cycle, which I've noticed. The products that sell on dropshipping don't really sell for as long as maybe a product on Amazon does. I don't know why this is, but I guess maybe because you're using more niche or more fad-like products to sell on dropshipping rather than Amazon, where you still pick niche products, but they're not so fad. Like, you kind of try to stay away from fad products. So maybe that's the reasoning there, because I've noticed that the life cycle of dropshipping products, they don't last as long, maybe a month or two, or if you're lucky, 6 months. But on Amazon, you can get away with a product for a year, 2 years, 5 years, like, easily, if you are pumping it with effort and money to try to grow the brand and stuff. Yeah, you can easily keep the product up for a long time. That's also a big thing about drop shipping, is that the life cycle of products is a lot smaller. So a lot of, like, for example, a lot of people have made money off of those fidget spinners that were popular 6 months, 8 months ago, a year ago, something like that. They made a ton of money, and the people who made a lot of money were the ones who were drop shipping that. Like, I know countless stories of people who made 6 figures in a month, selling those fad products. And every time those products do come out, it really doesn't matter how much competition there is for drop shipping, people will still buy it. Like, it's really crazy how much people are willing to spend on little knickknacks and stuff like that. So that's why dropshipping is great, and it takes maybe 5 minutes to 10 minutes to get your store up and linked to like a Chinese manufacturer. So it's very quick and easy to pick it up, but it's also goes away really quick and easy. And that's a con for me about dropshipping. Now let's move into the cons of Amazon. So I'm going to talk about the cons first, and then we can talk about the pros. The cons of Amazon, probably the biggest con, and the one that stops a lot of people from starting, is the startup cost, and the fact that you have to hold inventory rather than kind of using drop shipping, where you're never really you're not risking too much in terms of the inventory, right? So you can't just ship them out from China. You kind of have to order in bulk again, and pay for the shipping, and then ship them out to the warehouses, get it processed, all that stuff, and then from there it all goes for where you want it. Also, it's not worldwide, so drop shipping, you kind of get people from wherever you're targeting your ads to, so anyone in the world can really buy this stuff. But with Amazon, it's you can kind of get your product in a lot of different warehouses around the world, but for the most part, you really do concentrate, on, let's say, the Amazon US or Amazon UK or Germany or whatever it may be, right? You're not really, at least you're not going to start off by putting your product all over the world. You're going to start off with one marketplace and see how that works, and then move it from there. So that's a con about Amazon. It's not really worldwide like the advertisements for dropshipping can be. Another big thing is that you have to hold a decent amount of inventory with Amazon. So not only do you have to hold inventory, you have to hold a lot of it for the most part, because Amazon's algorithm works really based on how much you're selling. And if you ever go out of stock, really, you could really hurt your sales rank, which is what actually keeps you high up on Amazon's pages. Because if you're going out of stock all the time, Amazon is kind of fed up with you. They don't really want to deal with somebody that's not on top of keeping their product in inventory. So you always kind of have to reinvest your money into inventory, and you can't really pull money out of the business very early in Amazon. It takes maybe a couple months to be able to take money out of the product, rather than always be reinvesting into products, into inventory rather. So that's another con. Like I said, you probably want to have 250 to 500 units when you're starting Amazon, and that can cost a decent amount of money for some people. Another con is you're gonna want to invest money into, or not want to, you're gonna need to invest money into some product research tools. So you're gonna need, for the most part, if at a bare minimum, you're gonna need Jungle Scout, the Chrome extension, which is gonna run you about $100. And then you're also gonna need, maybe to help you out, is the Jungle Scout web app, which is like $40 a month. So, you know, at a minimum, you're gonna wanna spend like $140 on just the product research tools. That's not, you know, considering any inventory, that's not considering any other stuff that you might wanna get, like merchant words or any stuff like that. So at a bare minimum, you're gonna be spending about $140 US, which, you know, with dropshipping, you do have to spend for the Shopify, but it's really not that much. You know, it's a lot less for Shopify than it is for Amazon. Another thing is, it's harder to build a brand. It's harder to build a brand on Amazon. You are gonna, you know, because the good products, or rather the very popular products, are very, very competitive on Amazon. You kind of want to get super niche. And when you get really niche, it's hard to sell in sometimes, and it's hard to build a big brand around something like that. So that's what I've noticed. It's a little bit more difficult to start off start off in Amazon and sell or grow a brand on Amazon and retarget your customers and stuff like that. It's a lot harder than it is on Amazon than it is on dropshipping. So that's what I've noticed as well. Another thing is Amazon actually charges you a fee for selling on their website. They actually charge you two fees. So one of them is the pick and pack fee, which is the fee that they charge to ship out your product for you. So that depends on the, you know, product dimensions, product weights, and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's one fee that you're gonna have to pay. And another fee is a 15% referral fee. And that's just, you know, pretty much anybody who sells on Amazon has to pay that. But what I've noticed is that the 15% referral fee is a lot lower to pay than it is to pay for Facebook ads or something like that. So Amazon has so much traffic, or so much organic traffic on their website, that just, you know, paying the 15% is dirt cheap for the amount of like organic traffic and the amount of organic sales you're gonna get. So I don't really worry about that. And actually that actually transitions me into, you know, the pros for Amazon. So that is a pro, because you get a lot of organic traffic. So another huge pro, and the reason why I decided to go with Amazon FBA rather than dropshipping when I was first starting off, is the passive income. So everything is really passive. You don't have to, you know, at first all your you know, effort is on the front end of the operation. You're gonna put in your time and your money up front, you know, and kind of put out an educated risk to see if you should do the product or not. So in this case, you know, I did put out money at first, and I did, you know, put up like maybe a month's work where I didn't get paid anything, but I kind of used an educated decision, you know, to go ahead and start it, because I knew that once you do all that work, the rest of it is very passive. Once you get, you know, you find a manufacturer, you find a product, you know, you source it, you get all that stuff done, you ship it out to the warehouses. After that, you really don't do much, you know, maybe some advertising here and there, and maybe make a listing, but other than that, you know, all you do once you have everything set up is just reorder your product, and it just, you know, you tell a Chinese manufacturer to you know, make another 1,000 or 2,000 units. They send it over to Amazon warehouses, and that's it. Your job is over from there, right? You just collect your money, and that's what really intrigued me into doing Amazon rather than dropshipping. Another thing is, again, the life cycle of the product is a lot longer than on dropshipping, is what I've noticed. So, you know, something that might last 6 months on drop shipping, the products you're gonna sell on Amazon are gonna last you maybe, you know, a lot longer than that, maybe a year, 2 years, 5 years, easily. So that's what I've noticed, and that's kind of another reason why I decided to do Amazon rather than drop shipping. Another thing is Amazon, you know, ships, sorts, and does your customer service for you. Like I said, it's super passive. You really don't do anything after you get your product in the warehouses. Also, there's no real guesswork, so a lot of the research is done up front, like I said, but you kind of almost know that your product will sell. When you find that product, when you find that, like, the product that you're gonna sell, you really know, you know, if you're looking at all the criteria properly, and if you're following what I'm trying to, like, explain to you guys in these videos, when you do find that product, that one product that you're you know, looking to sell, you know it's gonna sell. You're almost like when I put out my products, I'm 99% sure the product is going to sell and it's going to make me money. It's really hard to lose money on Amazon FBA because you have 6 months to sell the products before you start getting hit with the long-term storage fees. But almost everything sells on Amazon. There's just so much traffic on Amazon that even if your product is horrible and if you made a huge mistake buying a product, it's still gonna sell just because there's so much traffic in it. And that's what surprises me. Almost every single product on Amazon is making like some sales. Even if it's not a lot, it's making some sales. So in the worst case scenario with Amazon, and this is what I knew also, in the worst case scenario is that it will take me 6 months to sell out of a product. I'll make maybe a little bit of profit and it won't really be worth it, but you don't really lose money on Amazon. It's really hard to lose money is what I've noticed, unless you make a horrible decision with your product. Like you get something like absolutely terrible. But if you guys follow what I'm trying to show you guys, like it's almost impossible to lose money on Amazon. It's a very educated risk, but it's almost not even a risk at all. Another thing is dropshipping is kind of really trial and error based, where Amazon isn't, like I just said. It's a lot of educated risks. And the last thing is, like I kept repeating in this video, it's Amazon has so much organic traffic that it's mind-blowing. Like there's just so many people that sell on Amazon. I mean, there's so many people that buy from Amazon. There are a lot of people who sell, but there's so many people who buy from Amazon that almost every product sells. That's pretty much it, guys, for the pros and the cons of dropshipping. I hope that it kind of helps you guys realize maybe which direction you want to go with your business and where you want to take it. Again, I would definitely suggest starting off with Amazon FBA because I feel like there's a lot less risk than what people think there is. But again, like I said, keep an open mind because there's a lot of people who make a lot of money doing both, and it's it might even be better. Like it might be good to do both. Not, I wouldn't say do it at the same time, but it's good to have as many income streams as you possibly can. So look into doing both and do your research, figure out maybe what suits your situation better. And if you don't have much money to start off with, maybe do drop shipping. If you do have money and you're willing to invest that, I would definitely say Amazon FBA is where you want to be. And also it depends on how much of a risk taker you are. And that reminds me of a thought. A lot of people think risk is bad and like risk is scary and stuff. And I used to think that way too. I used to think that maybe I shouldn't be taking risk, and the money that I do have I should save up, and I should kind of save it and not spend it or in like stuff like that pretty much everyone teaches you. But when I started reading books and I started learning about stuff like financial freedom and stuff like that, all the people have been saying, you don't want to save your money, especially when you don't have anything to save. You want to try to grow your money. So if you do have, $1,000 or $2,000 and you're looking to, save that money, maybe the smarter decision is to kind of, I don't want to say risk it, but it's an educated risk. You're almost guaranteed to make money if you put your all into it, right? So like for example, for myself, I had $1,000 that I saved up with a friend that when we were doing window cleaning, like our little window cleaning business, and I had a credit card. Like I had a credit card that I could use to put money on, and I really didn't know if it would be a smart decision to invest that money, but I knew that $1,000 wasn't a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, and it wouldn't really do much for me if I just saved it. So I thought, let me just risk it. I did my product research. I did everything. I figured out that theoretically I should be selling this product and it should sell well. And it did work out. It worked out really well. And I don't know if I'm an anomaly or if this doesn't really happen with most people, but I do know that it's almost impossible for you guys to lose if you're always, if you try your hardest and if you never stop trying. So it's impossible to fail if you never stop trying. Like think about it. It's actually not possible. A lot of people think that taking risk is scary, and I used to think that way too. But when you really, put it out into the world and, you put out what you want into the world, you really do get back what you put in. So if you put in everything you got into this product, into your product research, and you don't skimp on time, you take all the time and you put all your effort into what you're doing, you will succeed. You will succeed, and you will make whatever you deserve to make. That's how this world works. Like at least that's what I've noticed, and I realized that few months ago when I did start, and now every day it's kind of being reinforced. And I just wanted to share that thought with you guys because I have noticed that people who are willing to take risk are the people who are the most successful in this world, and the people who put everything on the line they're the ones that are gonna make it. And I'm not saying go out and gamble your house on red or something, right? But when you're doing educated financial risk, it will most of the time it will come back and it will help you succeed, because that's just the way it seems to work. And I can't even explain it, and a lot of people can't explain it, but that's the way it is. And I think that was a little bit of a random thought that I had there, but I've had that thought, and I've talked to about that thought with my friends and people who I surround myself with, and they all agree. It just somehow it all seems to work out if you put your all into it, and if you really, really want whatever it is you're going out to get. So anyways, guys, I really do hope that video helped you out, and I hope that rant at the end was maybe opened some of your guys' eyes a little bit to what I think and how the way I'm feeling about the situation. So if you guys did enjoy, please remember to leave a like, comment, share with your friends if you have anyone who's interested in either Amazon or drop shipping, Shopify. And remember, soldiers, at the end of the day, you're only one product away.